I cross the rugged heart of Mexico and meet the men waging a war against the powerful drug cartels that threaten the country's stability.
They're telling us to get down.
In the capital, I dabble in a famous local sport.
Go with the flow, you know?
And when I reach the glorious Bahamas, I go hunting for an alien invader.
Just here is where the Tropic of Cancer hits the coast of Mexico. I'm starting another huge journey around the planet, this time following the line that marks the northern border of the tropics region. This journey will be my biggest challenge yet.
Mexico's beautiful Baja California Peninsula is an 800-mile-long strip of land extending south from the US. Baja was a glorious place to launch my journey. Sparsely populated, it's a rugged wilderness of dry desert and empty beaches. At first, I thought I'd discovered a remote paradise, but an hour to the south, it was clear a few other travellers had got here before me. Tens of thousands of Americans are now coming here to Cabo San Lucas every year in search of the tropical sun. It's a tourist playground right on the edge of the desert, and soon it won't be alone.
The size of this. The extraordinary thing for me about this marina is that the government is planning to build another 17 marinas just like this on the same grand scale with all the same number of expensive yachts along the coastline in this area, on the edge of the desert. And all of it, all of the boats, all of the tourism here is entirely dependent on Americans and US dollars.
The new tourist developments here have already eaten up more than 20 miles of pristine coastline, and Mexico is now promoting this area as a luxury tropical destination. So we dropped in to see one of the swanky resorts they're building, called the One and There are now thousands of these gardens across the country, producing more than 1 million tons of food each year.
It's a movement that has spread to the whole of Cuba, and nobody can stop it. Every day it's getting bigger. It's even spreading into the courtyards, inside people's homes.
If the population of the planet keeps increasing at the current stratospheric rate, then eventually more of us will need to start growing our own food locally. And these gardens show us how it can be done. They might be good at providing fruit and veg in communist Cuba, but they're not so great at providing much else. Other basic foods are still distributed through state-controlled ration shops. And just here actually is one of the shops that Cubans have to buy their products from. As you can see, there's hardly anything on the shelves.
This is the notebook that you could have: rice, beans, oil.
So this is a sort of ration book then?
The ration by
showing
people.
You what you're allowed to have.
For example, the rice is 5 pounds by person.
So 5 pounds of rice in weight per person, per day, per week, per month?
In the month.
In the month, okay.
Every Cuban has a monthly allowance of basics set out for them, all heavily subsidized by the state. It's incredibly cheap, but government shops like this provide only the most basic commodities. Meanwhile, the prices of consumer goods are often astronomical, and to buy them, Cubans on meagre state salaries need access to money from relatives abroad or foreign tourists. For a supposedly communist society, it's resulted in a strange new social hierarchy.
So a bar like this, you might find Cubans drinking beer, spending probably $1.50. So that would be probably people working in tourism or taxi drivers who didn't have to go to college to make that money.
So sometimes people who studied the hardest, got the most qualifications,